In a world where we think that everything and anything can bring us happiness, the truth is that we will always feel empty until we have made God the center of our life. Everybody thinks that the next thing will make them happy, the next job, the next career, the next paycheck, the next business, the next amount of money that's going to hit their bank account is going to make them happy. But the truth is, until you make your sole focus on building a closer relationship with God, you will always feel empty. You will always feel like there is something more. And I'm here to tell you that there is nothing more that you need in this life except God. Making God your center of reality. Making God your focus. Because once you have made your focus on not yourself, but on God, He provides you with the direction and the way that your life needs to be directed in. Why do you think so many billionaires commit suicide? Why do you think so many millionaires feel unhappy? Why do you think so many famous people and celebrities all feel depressed and start taking drugs and start taking alcohol once they've hit this highlight point of their life? Because they think that it's something external that is going to bring you happiness. And when I mention God, I don't mean some mystical man flying in the sky looking down on people. Because this is a misrepresentation of what God is. What God is your inner connection to a higher being than yourself. A person, not a person, but a creator that is not just you, but an extension of you. And most people get this whole idea because of religion, and I'm not saying I'm Catholic, but I'm saying that society has misrepresented God as a man in the sky looking down, mad at everybody, judging their every move. Oh, you're bad, you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're going to heaven, you're going to hell. And this is incorrect. How do I know? You might be saying, well, what? Did you experience God? Yeah, I actually did experience God. And I experience Him every single day. Why? Because I connect myself to a bigger purpose than me. I live for something rather than myself. Because when we start living for purposes more than just us, that's when we feel fulfilled. Anytime I do selfish work, selfish activity, then I feel less happy, less all the things we all as humans strive for. Joy, peace, happiness, all those things that we strive for every single day are not going to be brought to us when we are doing things for ourselves. But when we do things for other people is when we feel these things that we all chase. And how do we know when we are doing the things that we should be doing for other people, or how do we know what we should be doing for other people? When you go inward, when you start focusing on what's inside of you and start speaking with God, because God is inside of you. God is your subconscious, God is your conscious talking to you. This is what a representation of the Holy Spirit is. So, you might be asking, okay, now I know I need to start going inward and I need to start focusing on what's being told inside of me. But how do I do this? Well, the first thing that helped me focus inwardly and start speaking to God and connecting with God is blocking out the distractions. The music, the scrolling, the media, all of these high dopamine activities that are pulling you away from God, because God is in silence. God is in not noise and distractions, but rather silence inside of you. So this is why a lot of people preach meditating, but meditating is literally just a form of being silent and observing your thoughts. And if you, which I really heard and I practiced a while ago, is this one thing that allowed me to really have all the answers answered, which is, if you have a question or if you have something you're trying to figure out, you have the creator, you have connection to the creator of the universe to answer your questions for you. But most people don't know how to speak to the creator or hear the creator. But the creator speaks to you through your thoughts. Your thoughts are like a vibration. And the higher your vibrational thoughts are, the closer you are to the creator. But if you're listening and distracting yourself with everything this world has to offer, especially with what the media has to offer, all that does is just bring you fearful thoughts and bring you further away from the creator. So, when you're in silence, when you're observing your thoughts for a longer period of time, once you get out of that fear state of thinking and move into that peaceful state of thinking, this is where all your thoughts and all your questions will be answered. So for example, this is why I write. I write because after a certain period of time, the thoughts that come into my mind that are later put down on the piece of paper or on my computer are thoughts directly from the Creator, God. And that's how you can write and think to inspire. But you might have a problem in your life. For example, oh, I just lost my job and I don't know where my life's going to be going. I have this problem. Where should I apply to work, or what should I do? Well, if you want the answer from the being that created this universe, because he's going to give you the best answer, all you have to do is ask yourself that question, sit on a chair, sit on the couch, sit on the floor, lay down on the floor, don't fall asleep, but sit down for 20 minutes to an hour and watch how your question is answered. Like that. Obviously not in that fast of a time, because you have to allow your mind to start thinking. But this is a skill that has been lost because we have brought in media and even more distractions, and people have trouble thinking now and observing and reflecting on their thoughts. But once you figure out how to connect with your thoughts, that's where peace comes from. That's where happiness comes from, because you're able to actually listen to what God has to tell you. This took me a long time to figure out, because people would always be telling me, oh, just talk to God, just listen to God. But I would never understand and know how to talk to God. I can't just be talking to God like I talk to my friend. Or I can't talk to God like I talk to my mother. Because God doesn't talk to you back and forth. There may be instances where God talks to you through other people. That can be a possibility. But the main way to tap into God conscious, to speak to Jesus, is through listening and observing your thoughts. And how you do that is the way that I just described. You have, I don't know the exact stat or fact, but millions of thoughts per day. And you don't think one of those million thoughts is God trying to talk to you? Hey, stop drinking alcohol, it's really bad for you. Or, hey, stop scrolling on social media, I have a whole life planned for you. Or, hey, maybe stop arguing with your wife, it's time to build a really good relationship with each other. Or, hey, maybe put down the ice cream, I really want you to be in your best physical and healthiest shape and ability. We know what we should be doing, but we avoid the things that God's trying to tell us because we're selfish. We want what we want. We don't want what God wants for us. So what do we do instead? We ignore and numb Him by doing the things that we want to do and not listening to our thoughts. We get drunk. We watch porn, play video games for hours, scroll on social media, and other people do other things. But the truth is that happiness, service are one and the other are related to things. You become happy by serving others. Why do you think I'm going to ask you this question to ponder on? The most happiest people are the ones that love doing their vocation. Right? Think about that. Do you love your job? That's where the easiest place to start with is to make the biggest change. If you don't, change it. If you don't love what you're doing, you have the ability to change what you're doing. Why? Because you live in your world. You've been given this body to experience and learn. And if you force yourself into something that you don't like to do, that's not aligned with you, don't do it. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. Yes, you have bills. Yes, you have kids. Yes, you have things to take care of. But you can take steps to get out of doing those things that don't make you happy. For example, if you're a firefighter, and let's say your dream has been to be a yoga instructor, or you just love yoga. I don't know why those two came to my mind, but they did. Don't judge me. You're a firefighter, you don't like firefighting, you love doing yoga, and you want to teach and help people how to do yoga. Well, my friend, have you heard of the internet? Have you heard of maybe uploading a yoga video every week and telling people, hey, if you want to learn how to do yoga, sign up below and I'll teach you. And then obviously it's not going to happen overnight, but eventually, as you stay consistent and as you stay committed and as you show yourself and prove to yourself, yes, this is what I want instead of that, you will eventually, with practice and repetition, pull that reality into your present moment, and you will be living that reality. All it takes is time and repetition with consistent consistency. That's all it is. And that's why I love the gym, because it shows you in your present moment that you will not get the results that you want without repetition and time. And then when you look back, you realize physically and visually that yeah, my time and my reps that I put in have brought me into the state that I am in now. And it's super simple. It's just most people don't have the patience to wait, or the mental power to think and reflect on what do they want. So I encourage you, really take the next, I don't know, if you have time after this video, sit in 20 minutes of silence, sit in 30 minutes of silence, and watch how God speaks to you. Because you think you have everything now, but deep down inside, if you don't have God, you have nothing. And that hole that you're trying to constantly fill will never be filled with external things that don't come with you after you die. Because focus on the things that you The things that will make you happy are the things that you can focus on taking with you after you die. Your thoughts, your memories, your consciousness. And I'll leave you there. I'll leave you like I always do. Create more than you consume. Serve others. Love everyone. Subscribe if you're new. I love you guys. Peace.